Hello fellow traders and current subscribers, welcome to Optional Enterprises Watchlist for March 30th, 2020. If you haven't, please consider subscribing to the channel if you find anything that helps you trade this week. So after our historic rally back out of this bear market, quote unquote, the big question is, are we looking at continuation, accumulation, or more distribution lower? Big price in expected moves this week. So our first one here is ROST stores, ROST, and you can see here that we're looking at a $16 expected move this week. Have a lot of open interest being held here at these 80s, so that's going to be our critical support level that we want to hold for moves higher. Got this on the hour chart because we are using some intraday support levels to for our calls above, puts below. Calls above, we're looking at 80.84. 80.84 is that support level we really need to hold if we want to see our price target of 91.03. Below 80.84, and I believe we're going to see 75.91, then 72.80. Okay. So for longs, we want an entry above 80.84. Targets are going to be 86.683 and then 91.03. For shorts, we want an entry below 80.84. Targets going to be 78.24, and then ultimately 75.91. And it could even go as far as to drop down to 72.80. I'm not pricing that in, but that's definitely not out of the question if you get these two first price targets. So that's it for ROST. Let's move on to the next one. All right, traders, so our next one here is oil. These are the oil light sweet crude oil futures, May 20th. And again, triggered for reversal to the upside. I think it stands a good chance this week. Looking at a lot of the trades on USO, a lot of puts being gotten rid of at high prices. That to me definitely suggests the early stages of a reversal taking place. However, it could go lower. Oil futures are expected to take almost a $4 expected move this week. So we're looking at these right here, and we see 377. So 377 brings us down to about 17 bucks, which is that's going to be our lower support level if our current levels can't hold. So back over to the chart here, and you can see that we want this 2162 area to really hold. We really want that to hold for some calls up to 2605. If, however, 2162 can't hold, then we're looking down to 1780. So let's actually zoom this in a little bit for you. That might make it a little easier to see. There we go. So that's our support level that we need to hold. If we can get that to hold, then we're looking at 2734. I'm sorry, not 2734. 2605. And below that, we're looking at 1780. So for longs, we want 2162 to hold. Target 2605. For shorts, though, which is certainly possible given that well, we had a pretty strong rally in the market, but oil didn't follow, which means there was just more accumulation happening in oil, which means that there might be a rotation out of equities into this commodity. But for shorts, we're looking for an entry below 2162 on some pretty strong selling volume, and we want that target to be 1780. That's actually about 80 cents too generous. It could actually fall down to 17 with the expected move being around 377, but 1780 is a pretty safe exit. So that's going to do it for oil. We are triggered for a reversal to the upside though, so be watching oil this week. I'll be playing it on USO personally. I don't usually trade futures, and you can see oil's pretty much providing us a nice basing pattern here. Got a descending triangle going on. And we're nearing that kind of breakout point, which is somewhere either going to be the end of this day into Tuesday, or it's going to happen Monday and we're just going to break out, or we're going to break down. So that does it for oil. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so our next one here is Walgreens, WBA. And this one's triggered for a reversal to the upside. We can see that reversal took place down here around 41, and we got a nice little rally up here to 41. We're looking for a continuation on this one, and from this reversal, and 43.90 is what we need to hold. 43.90, and we could be looking up to 47.71, and second target 49.31. But below 43.90, we're looking down to 42.79 and then 41. This is, I believe it was a $3.77 expected move this week. Sorry, $4.73. Right there. Not a whole lot of heavy trading on Walgreens, but the situation of the stock is too promising to point out. And again, we're on a 39-minute chart here. We had a reversal triggered on the 39-minute chart, so this is definitely not going to be a long-term swing. But again, it does look good above 43.90 to reach up to that 47.71. So for longs, we want an entry on some strong buying. Of course, we want the market to be bullish that day of two. You know, watch the Dow Jones. That's WBA is a member there. But we want it to be above 43.90. And our target is going to be 47.71. You could even throw in a second target there of 49.93 or 49.31. For shorts, entry below, and the volume doesn't necessarily need to be all that strong for a short, but entry below 43.90. Preferably like to see it close Monday out below 43.90. And we want to see this down to a target of 42.79 and then 41. So that does it for Walgreens. Let's move on to the next one. So our next one here is Zoom Video Communications. ZM is the ticker symbol for that one. You caught this one with us last week. I said below 152.20. We were looking at 135.90. We slammed that home, and of course we got a nice strong rally back. 152.20 is going to be that magic level again. We want it to get above 152.20. Above 152.20, we're looking at 165. Below 152.20, we're looking at 135.90. Zoom Video Communications is pricing in a $20 expected move this week. So $20 up or down. That's our standard deviation for the week. That's 130 to the downside and 170 to the upside. Those are some gigantic moves. And all of our trade ideas fall within those ranges. Again, this is our support level that we're looking to hold, 152.20. We need 152.20 to hold. For longs, entries above 152.20. And on your candles, you just want to see more buying than you do see selling. And that's pretty much going to be it for that one. But 152.20 is going to be a target of 165.03, which is retesting the old highs. Well, 164.94. We'll just go. I don't know why I've got 165.03. Probably just didn't change it. So that's going to be target on the long side. For shorts, again, we want to see an entry below 152.20. We're currently right above it. Monday's open. Maybe wait to see what happens. Don't jump right on in, but maybe wait till the end of the day and see where it closes out. It'll give us kind of a good idea. This was a strong buy on Friday. The end of the day ended with some pretty strong buying. So 152.20, and our short target is going to be 135.90. You can see we've got some pretty large trades happening on this side of the world. We got 1,200 traded on these 145s and 2,552 traded on the 150s. So Monday morning, you're going to want to see what happens with those. And again, 150 puts, which is favoring to the downside. These look like people exiting these calls, possibly selling a spread, selling the 150s, buying the 145s, and these 150s just look like straight put buys. So below 150, and I think you're looking pretty good to the downside. That does it for Zoom. Let's move. All right, so our next one here is CrowdStrike. CRWD is going to be the ticker symbol on that one, and 5709 is going to be that magic number this week. We want that to hold. We're currently at around 5810 on the close. 5879 was a closing price. The bid and ask 5810, 5860. We want it to stay above 5709. We've got a $5.13 expected move this week, $5.19 expected move this week. And the basis for this trade comes right here. So we see above 60, we've got a lot of open interest being held. A lot of money being put right there. Not a whole lot of money on the put side, but we know if we get below 55, then that 53.60, which is going to be the lower price target, looks a lot better. So back over to our chart, and you see here 5709 is going to be that magic number. That's our support level that we need to hold. Above 5709, we're looking at 5923 and 6264. Below 5709, we are looking at 5504, and then of course 5350. So for longs, entry above 5709, we want that to be on some strong buying volume. Again, we're already above it, so if it continues to trade above it, then look for some support on a smaller time frame. But 5709 is that magic number that we want to hold. Our first target is going to be 5923, and then our second target is going to be 6264. All within the expected move this week. So below 5709 though, and we want to see some strong selling volume, which is where this is. I believe this is headed. It is triggered for a reversal on a 4-hour chart. We can see that the volume, buy volume, just seems to die down pretty steadily. So that's a pretty good sign for the reversal. But below 5709 for shorts, and our target, first target 5504, second target is going to be 5350. Alright, that does it for CrowdStrike. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so our next one here is XOP, the Oil Exploration ETF, oil and gas. This is playing off the oil futures trade. If oil does indeed decide to trade higher, I believe XOP is about to follow. And there's some trading that suggests that the very, very minimum, we want 737 to hold. I'd really like to see 771 hold for a rally up to 771. We're looking at a $1.10 expected move. That's what, 880, which definitely falls below this 9 level. I don't think it's going to trade any higher than 10. Come over to our options here, and we see a pretty large holder there, 14,000 being held at those 10 contracts, and position doesn't seem to be lightening up. That definitely seems to me like when they entered that they were contract sellers. So But again, in the same note, though, we're looking at these 750s with 16,000 being held on those open interest. Anything below 750, and we're definitely looking down to 6. So that definitely supports our trade idea. And you see, we've got a $1.10 expected move this week, right there. So $1.10 from the support level that we're looking at on the chart. 110 from 771 again is 881, which brings us somewhere around up here just below this 9 level, which is kind of where this major resistance is at. But it's critical that we see this 771 area hold. 771 needs to hold, and our upper target will be 9. Below 771 we're looking down to 6, and I don't even have that on the chart because, well, this is never traded down to 6. We'll take you out to a monthly chart so you can look at that real quick. You can see that XOP is on its lows, but if we look at where, if we go out maybe 2 or 3 days, 6 is kind of where this trend line, which is this entire channel here, that's kind of where that intersects. Right around 6. So we could theoretically come down just like that and then look for our bounce upwards. So that's the idea for XOP. We're going to go back down to our yearly chart. There we go. Alright, so for longs, we want 771 to hold. I'll still consider it around 737, but I definitely want to see the volume and trading activity to support it. For longs, we want an entry above 7071, and our target's going to be 890 or 9, you know, whatever, make sure. But 890 is where I would get out. For shorts, entry below 737. Target's going to be 6. $1.10 expected move this week with the price of options. You'll definitely get 100% return on your money if we get any one of these moves. And that does it for XOP. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, so our next one is BBBY, Bed Bath and Beyond. And I actually read the fundamentals on this one, which, you know, the system is totally technical. Really don't care about the fundamentals, but this is, after reading them, I'm not. This is a bad company right now, but the signal was triggered. It's almost perfect, so BBY is triggered for a reversal to the upside, and we really want 456 to be to hold. 456 to hold. We're looking for a price target of 553. The options are cheap enough for that if this happens in, you know, less than 2 days, then you're definitely looking at 200 to 300% return on your money. But yeah, the 456 definitely needs to hold. Let's jump over to our option chain here. So you can see we got about a 98% expected move this week, and we've got a little bit of interest here at these 5 calls. Now that's either a put seller, a very risky put seller, somebody who really believes that this thing is about to tank again and not come back in the next 5 days, or this is a pretty strong indication that we're looking for some upside potential, at least in the short term, and definitely maybe not going higher than 650. As you can see, we got about 532 being traded there. Definitely going to want to see what happens Monday morning, what happens to those open interest. Does this volume become an open interest, or are these actually speculators looking for it to come up? I believe that the latter. It's going to come up above 5, and it's going to reach our price target of around 550. So jumping back to our chart here, again, we want the 456 level to hold. We're currently trading above it, 465. It might come down, but we definitely don't want to get in on this one until we see 556 being held and supported by some good volume. Upper price target is going to be 553. Down below it though, we're looking at 409, possibly even lower, to be our price target for the downside. So for longs, entry above 456. We want that to be, would like to see it close above 456 on some decent buying volume. Want to see your candles have more buying than selling in them. Target 553. Target and the short side below 456. And it really wouldn't take too much. You just want to see volume being matched, buying and selling being matched. Short below 456, target's going to be 409. Could even go lower. Again, this company is in terrible shape, so generally I don't look at that, but I was a little curious as to why this thing didn't rally with the rest of the market. So I took a look at it, and you know, they're not making money. So, but still a great return, risk reward. You're looking at 1 to 3 if we get the move that we're looking at. So that's not horrible for an options trade anyway. That does it this week. I want to thank you for watching the watch list. I hope you found something to help you trade. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. Always appreciate the support. This is Optional Enterprises, and I'll talk to you next time.